Kia ora. So I've been nominated by my bestie Darian Clark to participate in the 25 days of bringing mental health awareness to the forefront, I suppose. And so today is my first day of doing this. So it's Friday night, and I'm sitting here in my onesies, home alone, and so I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to try and gather my thoughts and try and come up with something that I could share with everyone for this challenge. So day one, I got nominated a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking about how this has got to look for me and what kind of things that I can share with people without giving too much information away. But I guess the truth of the matter is, if I'm anything, it's I probably share too much information. But for me, if what I can share for people helps them in any way, then I'm happy with that. I'm an open book anyway, so if anyone asks me anything about myself, I'll tell you. So the topic that I want to talk about today for my day one is depression. And I want to talk about, not go too much into specifics about what that looks like for me, but I want to try and be specific about how I get or got through it. So yeah, I have lived with depression since my early 20s, and probably earlier than that, but it wasn't until then that I was diagnosed with it. I went through that whole period of taking the pills and everything. I can't remember what they're called because I didn't last that long on them. I sort of made the decision for myself that if I'm going to get through it, then I want to do it alone. I want to do it without any kind of help, that kind of help, medical help, medication kind of help. And yeah, it's I've come to realize over my life that it all has stemmed, the majority of it has stemmed from my childhood and growing up through my teens, etc. Sometimes it hasn't been the best thing in my life, but it's definitely, for me, given me a lot to think about in terms of myself and learning more about myself and how I interact with others. And so ways that I have got through it that have worked for me is one thing that Darian shared in one of her kōrero actually, which was I would write down what the trigger was or what the experience was that caused me some sort of bad emotions or negative emotions. And then I'd read it back to myself and then I would burn it. So I've only actually had to do that a couple of times in my life. And the two instances that I did that, that was it. It sort of released itself as it burnt. It sort of, the memory and all the emotions attached to it released itself. So that was one thing that I did. The other thing that I did is, it's taken a long time. It hasn't been easy, or it's not a quick fix, the old Pantene effect. But what I've learnt over the years is that it's okay to be me. It's okay to not fit into other groups. It's okay to not be a sheep and follow the trends that are happening at the time. It's okay to be you, because I've realised over my lifetime that I'm pretty cool to hang out with, and if other people don't appreciate that, then that's not my burden to carry. That's not my fault that people see that. I know what my heart is like. I know how I treat people and how I like to be treated. And that is what matters the most to me. Now, that's not an easy thing to come to start feeling and understanding and comprehending, but I still have to practice it on a daily. But the thing is when you can start putting yourself first and you start understanding yourself and understanding your being more self-aware, then other things just start falling into place, and you realize that this world isn't as bad as you thought it was. So those are just a couple of things that I wanted to share about how I've got through depression, and how mental health has affected me over my life. So that's day one. Thank you for watching. Bye.